Hi, friends. Back on the Headbangers Ball. I kind of sound like a used car salesman. Hi, friends. Back on the Headbangers Ball. We've got Dan and Jerry from Icon.
Yes, dude.
Welcome to the Headbangers Ball. Welcome to Sitting on Jennifer.
I've been waiting all my life to sit on Jennifer.
Really? That's
what
I live for. I heard something like that. Now, your third album, Right Between the Eyes, is now out.
It is.
And it's been like 4 years since we've heard from you guys, right?
Yeah.
Now...
The last one was in '85. It was called Night of the Crime.
Night of the Crime. Now, what have you guys been doing in those 4 years?
You don't want to know. No, we've been writing. We've been writing. We wrote songs. We wrote a bunch of material for this record. And basically what we did was after we were on Capitol the first 2 releases, and then we lost that deal, we just sat in Phoenix, our wonderful Scottsdale, and wrote tunes. We have a bunch of stuff. We have enough material for 2 more records.
One of you guys wasn't in Icon in the other album, right?
I wasn't. I joined in '85.
Okay.
Right after...
What was it about him that made him a member of Icon that you said...
He's the only guy that would hang out long enough.
That was what it was like. Hey, you got about 4 years till we do an album. You want to be an Icon?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I also heard that you guys have a new drummer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave Lauser. He's from Hagar's band.
Sammy Hagar's band.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've known him for about 15 years. We grew up together in Riverside, California. And so when we needed a new drummer, he was like the guy in mind.
Cool. Now, we're going to talk to these guys a little bit more tonight, and we're going to take a look at their video, Take My Breath Away. But first, here's Ace with Do Ya. Back with the guys, Dan and Jerry from the band Icon. Now, Dan, you produced the new album, right?
Well, I tried to anyway. Yeah, I did.
Have you ever produced before?
I was like assistant with the first record that I did with Mike Varney, and the second one with Eddie Kramer. And so this one was when we did the deal with Ed Trunk at Megaforce. It was all the demos that I had sent him, we had produced ourselves, and I had, had my fingers in that pie there. So it was really easy. He just said, that we could do it ourselves, basically, because we've been doing that. The whole time we were in between deals, we spent recording. Now, did you consider using an outside producer, or did you always know that you wanted to do it yourself? Well, the problem is that the last time we used an outside producer, it didn't work out that well, and so we figured if this was a new deal and if anybody was going to mess it up, we'd mess it up ourselves. But then there's nobody to point the finger at. Nobody to blame but us, and after waiting, 3 or 4 years to do a record, we didn't want to take any risks. Okay, now you recorded Right Between the Eyes in your hometown, which is also my favorite town in the world, Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale, Arizona rocks, and there's very good-looking girls in Scottsdale, Arizona. Wonderful dance clubs, like? Too. There's some very nice dance clubs, dancing girl clubs. That's it. What was it like? Like, I'm an outsider. I go to Arizona a lot of times to play, but what's it like for the rock scene in Arizona? Actually, it's a pretty rowdy town. It's like it's a real, it's a tough town to hang in. Market. Yeah. It's like, if people don't like it, they let you know. And the good thing about it for us, anyway, is that it's clean. Yes, it is. And it's and the air is you can breathe. That's good. But and it gets about 116 degrees in the summer.
But it's a dry heat.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about Arizona and a little bit about you guys working with Alice Cooper on your album when we come back with the guys from Icon. But right now, let's take a look at these guys. And this was filmed in Arizona, right? South Mountain Park. South Mountain Park in Arizona. Icon with Take My Breath Away. Back here in the Headbangers Ball with the guys from Icon. We were talking a little bit earlier about you guys being from Arizona. Also the home place of Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper. Now, Alice Cooper does some stuff on your new album, right? Yeah,
he did Two for the Road and Holy Man's War. He does lines with me on Two for the Road. And sings and does the narration on Holy Man's War.
What was it like working with Alice?
He was great.
He was the coolest guy, isn't he?
The strangest thing is, like, because I produced a record, so I mean, my whole life I never thought that I'd sit behind a console and go,
Alice, do this.
I go like, he goes, well, what'd you think of that? I'm going, he'd sing a line or something.
What do you think?
I go, well, it's like I grew up. He was like one of my idols that I listened to. I mean,
yeah, mine too.
Under My Wheels was like a killer tune.
Yeah. Now, Jerry, I also heard that you play guitar on the album.
I don't play on the album. I just
you just play
write
guitar.
a lot.
Okay. Any chance of you guys playing like triple guitars or something?
We do
like that?
Forever Young. We play live. He plays acoustic.
When you do it live?
Yeah. Forever Young, the new ballad.
So we got 3 guitars on that.
There you go.
Now I know that Dan, you're a big collector of guns. What kind of
big guns? Go ahead.
Big guns. Well, we want to talk about the nice things. Since it's late now and your parents are asleep, let's talk about firearms. What kind of firearms do you have? That's the stuff that we want to know about. Tell us about the armor you guys got.
It's like this. No, I'm a Class 3 firearms dealer. I sell and own a lot of collectible weapons that other people can't get because they're civilians. And in Phoenix, okay, it's open range there. There's a lot of open country there. it's a great place to shoot. So I own a lot of machine guns and suppressed weapons and stuff like that.
That's a good thing to have. Do you guys target shoot? I know that Ted Nugent's like really into that.
I do, yeah,
stuff.
I'm really into shooting a lot.
Are you a member of the NRA, the National Rifle Association?
Actually, I'm not, and a lot of my friends get down on me because I'm not. They say I should be, so I guess I have to join.
Well, that's...
You brought that up, and because you brought that up, I'm going to do it.
No, you're not.
Okay. Well, it was interesting talking about weapons, and maybe when we come back, we'll talk about music. And maybe we'll talk about, who knows what we'll talk about. But right now, check it out. This next video we're going to play from Aerosmith. Now, you see a lot of people spending all this money doing videos, right? Like, oh, we need this there. And this is like, it just like took a video camera and filmed them recording the recording of What It Takes, which just shows, I mean, just Tyler's just so cool, just like doing nothing. This was co-written by Desmond Child, who also wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady and also wrote Angel. Here is the filming of the making of the recording of What It Takes by Aerosmith.